filed an unlawful subpoena, and it was incorrect, and it was the clerk and it was completely false.
Do you want to get your stuff or not?
Yes, where's the plaintiff? I thought the plaintiff had to be here in order to do this. Where's Longplat? I mean, where's I thought the Longplat had to be with you in order to. That is not true. I know for a fact.
Alright, then go to the courthouse and work it out.
Who is that person?
So, once again,
he's the maintenance.
Yeah.
He's an agent.
What?
Okay, I'm
sorry.
So what are you gonna get from inside? What do you need?
I need my shoes.
Where are they at? I'll get them for you.
Why can't I get my?
Because I'm getting them for you.
I don't know where they're at. My cat's in there too.
Okay, it's a mess right now. I'm not gonna get hurt.
Can I grab my court paper?
You're gonna have a chance.
I am Longplat.
Okay, hold on.
You're gonna have a.
Who's Longplat?
I said because I wanted to know how this is possible. I know who Longplat is. Longplat is a company.
Let me know when you guys are done, alright? Let me know when you guys are done.
I'm confused.
I thought.
Let me know when you guys are done.
Don't tell me what you think. Tell me what you know.
I know that the plaintiff is required to be there upon
the plaintiff is here.
Where is he?
Upstairs. Up there. Is that it? That's your one question? The plaintiff is up there. He's up the hill.
We're also Longplat. They took our name, our business name.
That doesn't matter. I don't care. No bearing on the.
What about but my cat?
Hey, where'd you go?
Why did you leave it?
I believe you. I believe there's a cat in there.
No, about everything else.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
It doesn't matter.
How?
Because I have a minute order that
This
states
is against my 14th right, the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. Oh, yes, I do.
What is it?
Stop.
Excuse me, that's
Okay.
You want to throw these out?
EIDENGLANZ.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, what's your date of birth?
October the 7th, 1980.
Alright, that was October 7th, 1980.
Yep.
Okay, what's your telephone number?
323-522-3607.
Is that a cell phone?
No, it's a landline.
Alright, I have 323-522-3607.
Correct.
Okay, what's your zip code?
90026.
That was 90026.
Yep.
Okay, just one moment.
You gonna go print this document? Take a look. Oh, no. I'm waiting for you forever. Still there?
Yeah.
Yep, just one moment.
Sure. Hey, look. I'm literally just waiting for you to print the documents.
Okay, what's the federal crime that you're reporting today?
Internal corruption in the city of Los Angeles involving real property and mortgage frauds, but with collaboration of...
Have you reported this to the FBI previously?
I've tried to, but you guys have never, like, heard me out, and I have continued to have evidence piling up in the...
So what's the new information that you're reporting today, if you've already reported this previously?
Yeah, the employee Carlos Pelez of the city of Los Angeles...
Alright, I don't need any names, sir.
Okay, the two of the people who work in the housing inspection department of the city of Los Angeles are involved in purposefully removing houses from the rental market from the REAP program, the substandard housing program, to help
They're
them.
involved in what?
They take houses from the rental escrow program called REAP, and they remove them from REAP, and they use them with their family member to sell them in mortgage fraud.
And how do you know this?
My house is one of them that's been defrauded, and I have papers that were sent to me from an internal employee at HCDILA that outlines how they redline the house and remove it from the rental market, which could have never been done. And
So you need to slow down, because you're throwing a lot of letters at me that doesn't make any sense. So you said that there's a program called REAP.
Fuck you, bitch. Ah, fucking cunt.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ, what is wrong with them?
Weekends.
It's not a weekend.
I know, it's the best time to report it.
No, it's not the best time to report it. The best time is like...
Online tips.
Yeah, they're literally such bastards. Every time. I have more patience usually, but this is
Well,
like...
now you have a recording of it. We could supply it to the internal affairs.
I mean, usually I have more patience to deal with them, but this is just like time after time after time of rude phone calls. I'm like trying to give them information.
Yeah, it's not like we knew that we weren't supposed to supply names. In fact, don't you supply names because there's factual information? She doesn't have to say it like that.
That's what I'm going to do. I heard what everybody has to say about this. Why is it, if these cases are also intertwined, did anybody file a notice of related cases, Mr. Chairman? And I think hold on, I'd like to hear from, hold on, I'd like to hear from defense counsel on that question.
Yeah, I just discovered today, although I haven't been served with the order, I discovered that they did file a notice of related case, and it is by title action along with the two generations.
Okay, I can see that. So actually that's involved to me because those are unlimited, or those are limited cases, is that right?
Yeah, they're strictly for possession. They're not asking for anything. I'm not handling the law, teenage or it's a different law, but they are strictly for possession. And I'm not going to interrupt it.
Yeah, let's let defendant's counsel talk. So I'm saying that notice of related case. There's an unlawful detainer case entitled Cheney Shapiro Long Flat versus the same plaintiffs in Judge Bird's court, and there's one called Long Flat Co. Versus the same parties, also in Judge Bird's courtroom. What's the status? So let's hear from. Oh, sorry, there's a third one. Why are there all these? There's one in Judge Tillman first.
Your Honor, there was an original unlawful detainer that the plaintiffs did prevail on, and it's because it was the improper notice was given. It was a 3-day foreclosure sale versus, the notice required. So they prevailed on the notice requirement. So that's why the additional unlawful detainer filed again after correct notice was given. Because there was multiple title owners because it was a foreclosure and then a quick transfer to another person. I think from what I know from my client is that they just filed separate actions just to be crystal clear with the unlawful detainer report if it was filed and what. But it's basically one. It's meant to get possession for all those particular plaintiffs, which are all my clients in the defense of the by title actions.
And what is the current status of the pending unlawful detainer case?
There's been a default judgment entered, Your Honor. I was informed this morning that the default judgment was entered, so it's currently in default status.
It's actually not vacated.
It's been vacated. I haven't seen any proof of that, but
Okay, which I'm looking at one that is 02274, and then there's one that's 02273. Are both of those still active?
Yeah, that's there. Where we're down to the cycle of the group actually hacking out against the recovery.
Need all this extra information. My only question was they're both still active.
Hey, your good faith
Okay.
means a lot.
Of course, I've been trying to do this right.
I've
It's just been hard.
I've believed you since the beginning.
The bottoms are open. He's just getting the other key for that. There's,
Any harsh words from me, I'll keep it short. I believed you from the beginning. And so any harsh words are only because
I felt really bad about this whole situation as well. Like I said, I couldn't walk away from it.
And we still can't either, but we're not going to take any possession tonight of any kind.
Okay, I appreciate that. Let's just deal with it the right way.
I know. But if you are looking for an out at any point, just call us. We have a really good situation, and it's not worth
right now.
It's not worth putting your life
deal
in
with this part of the process.
It's not worth putting your life in jail.
He's just getting the other key, but the downstairs you can start on.
I know. Well, this is just between me and you. A person who's known for being the asset hider is just as much an accessory to the crime.
I know, I've heard, you told me all of this.
I'm just telling you that you have an out.
I know, but you don't understand my angle and my side of it. You're not seeing what the position I have in this, that I can't walk away financially because I have everything, family, like my mum's money that I have to support my family. I've invested that money into this. I can't walk away from it, Eric. It's like the welfare of my family relies on it. That's why I'm in this position.
Maybe someone can hire you.
For what? I mean, I work full time as well.
Yeah.
But what I invested into here is like money for me that I took from my mum. We haven't got much money, you know. I have to look after my mum and my dad.
Do you know what treble is?
Yeah, I've had plenty of it.
Treble.
I've had plenty of trouble.
Treble. Treble. It means 3 times the damages for anyone who's involved. It means you actually have recouping costs.
Okay, sure. Maybe so. But like I said, the position I'm in, I have to try and get what I put into this back out.
Well, I'm not
I have no choice.
I'm not arguing with you here because it's not worth it.
No, I know.
But
I'm just trying to convey to you my position in this.
I'm already with you, and I'm just telling you, maybe talk to me at a later time.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
No problem. Can you do me a favor and just let me know when you're done?
Yeah.
And so I can come and lock up?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to sleep.
Yeah, great. Okay.
All your music.
Okay. Do you know what happened to the stuff outside? Or is it...
All your clothes and all.
Right on.
Okay. Just give me a text when you're done, please.
Yeah, I will. Nothing will happen bad. You want a
Thank you.
handshake? Amicable? COVID or not? I've had my shot. Yeah, let's talk. Jackalope! 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 Come on up.
Okay, so what I'm hearing from the other side is that rather than meet and confer with you, which I can appreciate, because it sounds like it might be difficult, and rather than go through the IDC process, if you folks will stipulate that I can issue an order setting a date by which you must respond, that basically you'll forego the motion because then you'll have an order in place. And then if you don't follow the order, then you can be subject to all kinds of sanctions, including money, evidence, sanctions, and ultimately dismissal if you don't respond.
I would rather do the meeting for because this is an issue on our own and there's other agencies involved for the evidence.
It's nothing, hold on, it has nothing to do with the other agencies. I can't tell you what to do, but it's a pretty good offer, I would say.
I will make that time frame anyway, just on our report, but I can't guarantee that all four sections of the time frame.
Create three sections, I misspoke, it's three motions.
The meeting program we rather good for us to do.
Folks, do you want to do this or not? Okay, I need to.
Which is the what is the offer to take all the evidence to take all the evidences and answer that what you're asking for.
Yeah, what are you proposing? And I just want to make sure I have it right, council. So what we would do, so we would say your response would be due, today is the 25th. Your response is 25th of today is Thanksgiving. So when we do that, so we would say that your response to the three sets of discovery they propounded. Do I have that right? Three sets?
Yes.
Okay, request for admissions, form interrogatories, and document requests, that you would have to respond and produce the documents no later than November 29th, and say how you're gonna do it, by email or whatever it's gonna be, and that'll be a court order, and so if you don't do it, then you're subject after that to them requesting sanctions for that.
IDC would prefer.
Your Honor, there's just discovery. I'm entitled to the order. No, they have not.
I cannot make them do something that seems like a very good thing to me, but they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it.
I'm going to cooperate on my report. I promise.
It doesn't sound like it, yes, sir, it doesn't really sound like it, so I'm not getting an impression that you are cooperating, but that's what it is. What's that?
Your Honor, this is the code says if somebody doesn't answer discovery, I can move for an order of count. That's what I've done. It's a simple order. You can, how do you forego the monetary sanction?
Counsel, okay. Well, the one I'm worried about is the name of it.
Just have an answer.
Hold on, hold on, if he's gonna do that, then I'm gonna go with it, because, they have offered up some somewhat compelling, issues, particularly the medical issue, and I do pay attention to that sort of thing. But, so I'm more than happy to do what you're saying, counsel, and that is to, not deem the request for admissions admitted. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna pencil this in, so just give me a moment here. Okay. So everybody just be quiet while I do this, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, if I may tonight,
$7,000, well.
Well, why are you gonna pay?
No, we're not gonna pay $7,000. They tried to rape us at $7,000.
So you got the hearing for like the quiet time and all that stuff?
If you can call it that, they're just interfering. Guy is such a prick, man. I don't even know who he is.
So it didn't go good? You got the hearing that you wanted, right, or no?
The hearing would happen anyway. It's just now there's some asshole who like I spilled a Coke. Oops. I spilled some Coke. I just noticed. Coca-Cola. I gotta clean it up in a minute. It's just this asshole, and he's just like every other fucking jackass lawyer.
The guy that was talking?
Yeah, he's like, oh, you can tell from talking to this guy that I don't know if I want to give him my email. It's like,
are you serious?
Yeah, he's like, he's gonna fucking harass my email. If he harasses my email, I'm gonna fucking. It's like, are you kidding me? Yeah, no, but what he said was completely insulting on every level, consistently. All he did was say, they're squatters, they're trying to hold out, they're fucking like, he lied about everything all the way through, and he just kept being insulting consistently, and undermining, and being a real fucking bitch. So what? The truth is real.
You turn to talk, right?
Oh yeah, that's true.
This is how it works for like Zoom or whatever.
So the last thing I have is on October 20th, there's a minute order, and it says that the request trial date says it's deemed, but I think
Keep it on.
I was right. No, I was right. You should have dismissed all of them. It's lending home. This is bullshit.
We still have to cancel the instruments.
No, you don't.
No?
No.
Yeah, see, I gotta get more familiar with it.
You should just cancel them. Fuck that, dude.
Yeah.
That way they would have spent all the money and been fired.
Yeah.
Just that we have to
We
deal
can
with
still
their
do
ass.
it.
Just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Paperwork, fucking dismiss.
Because we have till November 3rd to decide.
Because currently, now, well, you have like today to decide because they got wind of the fact that they're in default. They're in default on their mortgage. Shapiro and Marcy, both of them.
They're defaulting on it?
They did.
So that means they're not paying.
They defaulted on 4/14 or 4/21. That's on the 4th month. We're in the 10th month. On the 5th month, maybe. 5th month. They defaulted on 5/21 or something.
So I mean, but if it's defaulting, you don't pay?
Their lender doesn't give a shit about the loan because it's a lie. Because there's no money to pay. The whole thing's a front. And so, like, their lender's not chasing after it because the lender knows this is a big problem.
It's okay. It's okay. I think they know the problem.
And so, because they defaulted, there's an automatic writing in the mortgage security that says that they have to be automatically. They don't get to really do anything about it. They owe that money regardless now. If their lender gave a shit, their lender would have done something about it. Their lender is waiting to figure out what we're going to do because the lender knows that they're going to lose because it would be fraud intrinsically. The lender will probably come after us, but we're going to go after them first, right, Jackalope? Jackalope?
Try and turn it off.
Why? I want to hear.
Oh, you do?
Is this already your court case or is it a different one?
I just want to hear how she acts. It's not for ours anymore. See, we had another lady all together.
I would suggest you file an ex parte with the stipend order because then I can talk to you about the date.
She seems like more real
She's candid.
than the last judge, right?
I like her.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I like her.
And she can tell you she has like conscience.
She's
Some
like,
morals.
some reasoning.
Yeah.
Caleb, you have to learn though. I don't need it from you too. You need to not tell me what to do in
I'm
there.
just looking out for you.
You're not helping us. You
You
can let me get
really
into
gotta-
see, you can do it your way, and I can do it mine, and we can both push different doors, and then I can learn to specifically back off when I have to. You are supposed to be whatever you think is perfect for this situation, but I'm supposed to fucking be agitating slightly, and then also back off consistently, and show like basically barely walking the line of what they want, because that allows us to push the edge and then back off over and over and figure out where our ground is, because they do kind of like have this, they're on this like fine line too with us, because we're pro-per and we're disabled. So A, they can't fuck up with us, and B, they have to give us leeway. So we're allowed to test the waters of anything, and you know the only way a child learns anything is to be burned by something. So if you don't fucking experiment, you won't find out where the line is. Now this other guy, he's just making fun of us, being an asshole, getting away with it because of he's a lawyer. If the word lawyer makes you a lawyer, I was being more lawyer than he was up until that point. I had my whole thing written out and like was just explaining it, and he was just rudely interrupting, and like I even stated the facts that like, you know, it says in rules of court that like you can't make discovery on a person who's already won in an unlawful detainer. And everybody stopped and was like, oh shit. And then, but that didn't matter because he's just undermining us for like not being a lawyer. So that's like, it's not even a big deal to me. It's just like, what the fuck is the dude being a prick for? It's like supposed to be a neutral situation or platform for arguing a scenario, you know? And that felt anything but neutral.
Yeah, totally.
It felt like a personal attack.
It is a personal attack.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
mean,
was personally
well, we just went through an unlawful detainer, and now they're doing two more, and he's going to do this, and they're all doing it simultaneously in a systematic attack at the same time to sway us down with fucking paperwork, which is what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, I know.
But you weren't even letting me speak.
No,
you know?
it's only because when you don't interrupt the judge. That's all. Sorry, someone called and I hung up on them.
Oh, it was me.
Oh, sorry.
That you just know?
No.
Hello?
Once they have the new MSC date, they will submit a new proposed different order regarding continuing the trial and related dates, including the IDC. The court sets the status
Yeah,
quo
no, can I get
for
that?
the
Like
above
the floor,
on
okay.
11/19/21 at 8:30 in Department 50, and
Not really.
vacates the FSC and the
Sorry.
Hello?
there was waived on that.
Dave with the Clean Energy Program. How are you today?
Good. I just wanted to make a point that I've asked to be removed from the list about 16 times, and I never get off it. And this is kind of old.
Your Honor, can I just bring up one more quick issue?
Yeah.
I agree with opposing counsel to leave this off the stipulation, but at the very least, I just want to be...
Shouldn't we be able to at least make a note, a case summary note, Jackalope? So the judge needs to, because she's there, she's like, so she's there right now. So while she's there, put documents on the record.
Yeah.
That
Looks
are
like she
important.
gets it right there.
Yeah, put documents that are on the record that are important. But like, what they want to know is basically certain things that I'm willing to answer the first page so far. I'm not going to answer everything if I don't feel like it, but I would actually supply them with what we were asked by the other parties, and then a write-up, a summary. Case summary is a write-up of what our perspective is, and our perspective is that these are attacks from Church of Scientology, and so you start with the perch, you know, and showing who these people are, and then you show with Markson, and you show specifically Richard Judson Williams is the one who we're going after, and Ken, by naming them.
Okay.
Which will then, that'll drive Ken nuts, because he'll have to go get his own lawyer just to make himself feel good. Because he can't fucking handle fucking being on Cheney's fucking lawyer bill, because he like wants to make sure he's independently, like, Ken.
Ken?
Yeah, well, Ken knows better than to fucking have the same lawyer as his daughter, because it's stupid, because if you have the same lawyer, you have no separation between you and the reality of your con.
Yeah.
And like, by having the same lawyer for both parties, they're admitting, which is what I had written down on my notes, but I didn't get to say it, that by having the same party, they're immediately stating that like because they're both buyers, and they say they don't even have any relationship in their pleadings. They're like, no, there's no relationship between us. We're not partners in a business. But she said she's a business partner with him elsewhere. But if you're sellers between the house, then you have a fiduciary interest in your best deal, and everyone to themselves, you know? So how could you have the same lawyer organizing your situation? Didn't one sell it to the other and now they're done? Why is the first one even involved with the second one?
Yeah, you gotta accept lawyers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, why are you even like, why does the first person even give a shit what the hell's going on? You know?
Yeah. Were you able to give off any evidence today?
I got out a couple of cheap shots that were useful, like
You have to wait your turn to
Scientology.
talk?
Yeah, you say Scientology and everybody tries to cover it up by laughing. Like, the judge doesn't do anything, but the lawyers or whoever else is, like, involved will
Isn't that
always-
like called something like
Today's
when you're like doing like making remarks like that?
Yeah, it is, actually. It would be like conduct. You know?
Yeah,
you know,
unruly conduct.
Ethical conduct would
yeah.
dictate that they should not be making remarks against the, like, us in general in the first place.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
like,
I mean, you're fucking. They're Scientologists, so
The
they're
rules
like.
of professional
It's a
conduct.
fact that they fucking do horrible things to people and kidnap people and like
Yeah.
brainwash them.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so what worked?
Mhm.
I went for the fucking stillborn.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Hmm?
I went for the stillborn move. I was like, oh, we had a stillborn
And
this
going
last
through
week.
like a lot of.
Last 3 weeks ago. And Jack was like, and like hit me, and I'm just like, but I pulled it off and landed it.
Yeah, and she's like, I do
Like,
pay attention to that. And
yeah,
stuff.
about 4 minutes later, she was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
So,
She listens to medical situations. So
is that hung up?
No, they're just they want someone. Oh shit! Sorry.
What'd you do?
This is just behind the screen.
You're not? Okay, good. Yeah.
So what is this trial for? Because you got multiple trials, right?
I was under the impression that, see, we had a different judge last time, and it was supposed to be the same judge, but this jackass wasn't served. See, that's the first thing. He wasn't even served.
Yeah.
And so you told me I had 2 years.
Yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
So why didn't we just say that?
Yeah.
I get 2 years to serve you. And they're not
Well, we can
next
make that
door.
statement.
They're appraisal frauders. It was supposed to be to start to present. Oh, they're on the front door, ready to go out. It's a lot of paper. It's crazy. To present these books, and the books show everyone who's owned it for 30 years, which is called the lawyer's guarantee, which we're doing on our own.
Damn.
And then we've been doing, and then but then we take 15 of the 26 parties, and we show how they committed fraud. And the court's gonna get really bored of watching that, but whatever. That's their problem. How 14 or 15 of 26 people are like fraud, and then 24 people are in the last group. There are 24 people at least at the moment who are directly related to each other in a bigger mortgage fraud, and that's on the small end of it. That's not even so. Like, once we get to the party that's like the most fraudulent, which is Cheney and Marcuson, it's like we have this like ripple effect of like people involved. But before that, we just knock out the players who are on the notary and knock out the signers who are the assignees of the mortgages. And so we just like, nope, they were fake. Nope, they were fake. By showing how, you know, so how is you look up robo-signers and you see which notaries are fake and which vice presidents are fake from other banks from the past. Which, ironically, I think our mortgage is probably one of the biggest fraudulent mortgages in the history of mortgages
Shit.
I've ever seen, like, or heard about, because I've not seen that many, but I've seen a lot on the deed sites I look at. And you can tell when there's something weird.
But there's like multiple things right here, multiple fraudulent things that happen here.
Yeah, back to back for forever. Like, in fact, it's so fraudulent that the guy who had it about 7 ago, he just got in trouble for $21 million worth of mortgage fraud in the East Coast and got caught. His name's Eric Hill. He got caught as like one of the biggest rings of fraud in 2021.
Oh shit.
And so it was just kind of like, hey, he's on the news.
And this guy's involved with the Shapiros?
No, there are connections between some of them, and it's kind of funny because like It's like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But
They're like a fucking big gathering of fucking fraudulent fools.
There are the same kinds of people like all over the place.
I just got this one.
Like it's rampant. It is so
it's pretty
rampant.
rampant. Like,
it's like
the same notaries. So 3 groups of people use the same the same group of fraudsters use the same group of notaries, and then the same group of notaries uses the same group of fraudsters as their clients.
I thought sure.
Think
They
of
all
like
share it.
anybody who's a college dropout who fucking wants to be rich and wants to make it like it's like
Ching Chang Chong Chings. Yeah,
Mhm.
God, I can't believe that's his fucking name.
Ching Chong Chang.
What?
One of the
Ching,
notaries.
ching,
Yeah,
ching.
I'm not
Ching
racist
Ching
now.
Chang.
One of the notaries' names is Ching Chang Chong Ching.
Ching Chong
What?
Chang. Ching Chong Chang.
No way.
Straight up.
Ching Chang Chong Ching. Yeah.
Yeah, I think is it 3 or 4?
Ching Chang Chong.
I think
Ching.
it's 3.
Okay,
Ching Chang
well, I'll
Chong.
just go 3 then.
Ching Chang Chong.
But the D, so you know how typewriters are the same, like letters on typewriters are specific.
Mhm.
They like have a shape. So I noticed the O is the same on the. I'm sure the other letters are too, but on the typewritten part of the form that Ching Chang Chong Ching signs, it says Chenny Shapiro typewriter. So a notary always signs the name.
Mm-hmm.
The
Oh,
notary
really?
has to write the name
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
person
yeah.
they're signing for to prove they
Oh,
actually wrote it. So,
fuck.
but then what is the person who typed their name? Is Justin Lantzman is the person who types at the bottom with the typewriter from the NMLRS, and his 0 is identical to the 0, which is it's not a regular 0. It's a 0 with like a little, looks like someone kicked it, you know, someone like kind of with a boot like kicked the O. So you can tell the O is like definitely the same because it's like it's got a dent in it, you know.
Wow, really good observation.
And so I was like, well, does that mean Justin Lantzman did it? Well, that's how I have to go at this point. Is I'm like, what's the chain of custody of this thing? And you can only make certain assertions. So either Chenny made it or Justin made it.
Because it's really easy to
Ching Chang Chung Ching did not make that
fraud
shit.
a notary.
Because he would have just handwritten it because it would have been what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, that's what he does.
But then Brendan Jimenez doesn't actually sign Brendan Jimenez's notary. Brendan Jimenez's notary is signed by Kusan Harnoncourt. Kusan Harnoncourt is the other guy. He's like Ken. There's two dirty dealers in LA that are really dirty that they get hired to do this shit. So there's Ken and Kusan Harnoncourt. Kusan Harnoncourt was the notary for selling the house for $999,000 back to the lender after he signed the notary to give the straw buyer, Brendan Jimenez, the money. Because Steven Schneider's real name is Brendan Jimenez.
What?
Yes. Well, there's Brendan Jimenez is this like tennis player / he ran a company called DJ Maps. Shows you where DJs are at. It's like on your phone in a map program.
Oh.
And he lives at his parents' house supposedly. Well, he's not fucking for real. I don't think. But anyway, Steven Schneider's for real. You should see Steven Schneider's like MO. Steven Snyder's pretty funny. He's like the hero of all this, except for us. He's the hero of all this in the fraud game. Because like Steven Snyder, you want to win or do well or succeed because he's such just a lovable character. But
really?
Yeah, he's a lovable character. Except if you're getting $200,000 stolen from you, I'm sure. You probably hate him.
Swindler.
Probably don't like him very much for that. Well, I like him. He left us his house. We didn't talk about it or anything. Didn't even know him before this, but theoretically, he left us his house. You know.
Oh.
The lenders like him. They got all their money in this house. You know.
Oh.
That's why I really don't like this lawyer. It's not a personal thing. This isn't a personal matter. You shouldn't make us out to be something that this isn't about. And that's why I would actually argue, like,
Totally.
okay, you're going to call us all these things and you want to argue. If you want to argue in law, then don't make this about people. You should realize the real people who committed the crimes here are, first of all, the people you represent, but secondly...
That's why he's Scientologist.
Yeah, he is. Check him out.
I'm sure they have
Yeah,
a
you're
whole
right.
Scientology law firm.
Yeah, they have several, and that's probably why they went to fucking San Dimas. Why else would they go to fucking San Dimas?
He was trying to get us to fucking personally serve him.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And she's like, I'm not gonna order that.
Yeah.
We're like, what the
We're nowhere near each other.
Yeah.
In San Dimas. Was he in Newport Beach?
No, San Dimas.
Why does it say that?
Doonan D. Scott, because that's another person named Doonan.
Oh.
Daniel Scott Doonan.
Funny thing is I would love to serve him in person because if I knew where his office was, I could fucking like disable his entire office.
Yeah, he's supposed to have it by law, but it's mandated since January 1st of last year.
You know what office buildings have, right? Drop ceilings. You know what drop ceilings have?
No.
Fucking electrical in them. You know what electrical and drop ceilings have?
Fire.
Water.
That too. Water, fire, but a place to put a fucking signal blocker that has power for a Wi-Fi
Totally.
network. You could just completely put his business out of business.
Until they discover it.
They would not discover that shit.
Yeah.
It would be like months.
So if
High rise is perfect place.
now that
for
they've
it.
got wind that they have their default, and that we know it.
Well, yeah. Look at the document.
Mm-hmm.
How do you, can you look it up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's right in front of me, huh? No, it's over there.
What would I be doing if I was to testify?
You'd be saying that you know about the length of time we've been here, the candor of our character. You're a neighbor that you live in within a block or two, or a few blocks. That you've known how long we've lived here for the duration of it.
How'd you guys move in?
Yeah, you helped us move a refrigerator and lots of lumber, and that that we've gotten your kid into like playing synthesizers with your
We really run a
yeah,
nonprofit.
Legos, and that these aren't people who are
Evil?
yeah,
Religious?
They aren't Scientologists.
Trix, what are you doing?
Do they acknowledge that they are Scientologists? They just laugh.
Well, they do. They do in a video. When I say, evil Scientologists, you are not the deed holders, you are the lien holders. I am the title freeholder. Leave this property now. You are trespassers trying to trespass my quiet enjoyment and my right to, like, privacy. And then they look at it and they go, huh, there he is. On the ring, right? And she goes,
hello?
She goes, are they there? And Richard goes,
He stands like a fucking dick, like.
and he goes, I don't know.
He's like looking up like into the distance, kind of.
She's all, well, talk to the fucking to the ring. And he's all, no, I don't want to. You're better at it. And then, and that's basically what they do. And then she pushes the button, and then they look at it. And this is like the 5th time that they've like come to the ring and like interacted with it, and like basically tried to fuck with us. And at that point, they're like, oh, so we did get a hold of him. And then she's like, oh, can he hear me? Of course he can hear me. He just talked to me. He's in there. It's like all they say, really. Yeah.
I mean, they don't acknowledge it in court.
No, because you guys are lawyers.
Oh, well, but I call them evil Scientologists, and they're with Markson. And so when I say this, and I go, evil Scientologists, they go, you know?
Yeah.
Who's like, oh, and then they go, let's SP them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's their, like, Scientologist stuff.
Lingo.
Yeah, it means
Yeah.
they're like, let's suppressive person them.
Oh, okay.
Which is like the worst thing you can get, I guess.
Oh, yeah, SP. Oh, that means, like, you just, like, get, like, tormented and all that shit, right?
Yeah, and they've done a pretty good job of that. So I guess what you would actually be saying is like, well, I have had my car stolen, I have had my tires slashed, I have had my tires slashed again, I have had my other car's exhaust cut off or attempted to be manifold stolen. Every time I left their house, I basically had car problems for pretty much a year-long period of time until my car was basically dismantled and on the side of the street, to the point I was getting tickets because I was usually being followed by a car when I left here, or one was sitting in front of my house stalking me to some degree, and it's ridiculous. It affected my life, my well-being, and they tried to keep me from being friends with my friends, and luckily I'm a stronger person than that, so I didn't, like, you know, give into that kind of bullshit. But most people couldn't put up with their car being fucked with that much.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, maybe I should file a lawsuit against them.
No, I'm putting you in the you and your family would protect like people that are restrained against.
In a restraining order
like,
for you.
Yeah.
You're added to our restraining
Oh,
order.
thank you.
Yeah, totally.
We haven't got one yet ourselves because we're
I'm
fucking
fucking
failing at that.
slow as fuck sometimes. Here you go.
But yeah, it wouldn't be a bad thing to have you as a person who can be a party to the evidence.
Yeah. I could try to gather up photos and stuff of the car and like the police report and
Oh
all
yeah,
that.
can you please? That would be great.
And if you want it to be evidence that you can use, there's no reason. See, the way the law works is you make a claim and they have to defend it, and they can't defend something that has a preponderance of preponderance of most likely it happened. If it most likely happened, it happened. And so one thing is really going in our favor here is Judd has 3 car robberies and conspiracy to rob cars on his record, and I got the record.
Oh fuck.
Yeah. And he had to serve 3 months for them each.
Trix,
Yeah.
what are you doing?
And that's not all. He has like 3 DUIs too. So.
Not to mention all their cases, lawsuits against them.
And they have like, fraud against the FTB, fraud against the PPP, fraud against the franchise state tax board, fraud against the U.S. trustee, fraud against the IRS. Fraud
Damn.
Yeah, and
oh, fuck a little shit on the record.
And they have,
yeah.
like,
They're criminals.
6. Oh yeah. Oh, straight up. And they have like 6 other fucking cases that they're like defrauding while they're defrauding those people. The State Insurance Compensation Fund. This guy David Glazer, Molansky, Ben Bolton.
How can they
Mike
not catch on to that shit? How does the court not see that?
They're really, really good at making everybody wait while they lie to them and say like, oh, I'm getting money here, and so all they're really doing though is collecting money and putting it in their little secret fund over here, and then keeping everybody waiting. And I really don't know, other than like I'm probably doing a disservice by not calling the people and saying, hey, are you in a really bad situation with these people? Does this suck? Do you hate dealing with them? Or like, did you ever get paid?
I just sent that email out to David Glazer.
But like when we do write these people and say that kind of shit, their lawyer will always write back and be like, I'm sorry, we can't join forces. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm just trying to fucking give you information. What the fuck is your problem?
Yeah.
Lawyers, they're fucking retards. I fucking hate them. Except for fucking Terry Fields. I'm sick and tired of this. All we gotta do is fucking get what we want has to be written down every time. If you want something, write it down.
That's true.
If you want it, write it down. That way we can tell Terry, or we can do it ourselves.
There's gotta be a fucking lawyer who hates Scientologists.
She found a fucking law firm that actually will fight this shit for us.
Yeah,
no,
like,
it's actually
I'm sure there's a lot who hate fucking Scientologists, and like they want to take them down, and so they'll do it for free.
She found a law firm that basically, it's called the Lawyers Fund for what?
Lawyer Legal Fund?
Yeah, and it has an infinite amount of money, and they only want one thing, for you never to settle. If you don't settle, they'll take your case as long as you have a case they believe is a winning case. And the winning case...
They just want a perfect record.
Jackalope, what we're missing is what I told you in the first place.
What is it?
The premise is liability.
Yeah.
You put the fucking physical injury tort in there, everybody's gonna be like, fucking, what they do to her? And you put in the fucking stillborn fucking shit I put in there. No one has to even be. No one can verify shit about it.
Whatever, it's fucking real.
I know, but the thing is, you put that in there, Jackalope, you instantly have a home run. You have the fall on video, you have the fucking death
harassment,
like papers, you have the fucking harassment, you have the fucking, the photos of the fucking live or like baby, then the fucking dead baby fucking from the fucking fall. The time sequence is perfect, You blame them for fucking what it is. This stolen car, fucking our harassment, the fucking phone calls, the psychological and emotional.
Our family's been fucking distant. Yeah.
Fucking. And I know one thing for sure. What's her name? My dad's girlfriend. Brenda will send us some postcards that say some evil shit.
No, what?
Like their fucking death threats just dropped in the post box over in Florida to all over here. She can send us some fucking scary stuff, spooky stuff.
She did that?
She's fucking, why not? She's fucking put some cut it up at home when she's doing nothing else, put it in a PO box, in a mailbox with some gloves on. Thank you, Brenda.
Damn.
Yeah. Just gotta
From
get
like Brian Andes or something?
Yeah, I just gotta get my phone number from my dad and start talking to her on the phone a little bit for like a week. And a week later, Brenda, I need you to do me a favor. Don't tell my dad. I need to make a ransom postcard. Because they live in Florida.
But keep your distance. Do not get close to these guys.
Yeah. Don't say anything to them. Just make a postcard and send it to me. It's the most retarded thing I've ever heard. Fucking Scientologist sends a postcard in the mail. No, it's for real though. Ken Shapiro is definitely the chief person to go after.
Yeah.
But the real thing is this isn't about the real people to go after. It's about capturing them. Like she said, it doesn't matter about the other organization. It does fucking do matter about the other organizations.
Oh, the other departments that you were talking about?
Yeah. I'm not just gonna hand everything over. They want information because if you know, sorry, I'm rambling. If you give her what she's not seeing, Pelez's stack, he's like, fucking this. Right? What does their stack look like? What is their request? I don't know. What's this guy's request?
What is it?
This is it?
Yeah, go a little further, that's the answer.
That photo. Fuck,
I need to actually read those things.
I know I had a photo of the police report. So
we have those.
Oh, you know?
Oh, yeah, we did
find them, but we do have
There'll be
them.
not little photos.
Saved them one time.
Deep somewhere. Keep going. Honestly.
What am I looking for?
You wanted an interrogatory?
Okay.
And, like, admissions and
I just
whatever?
want to see what he's trying to ask. Told you, she
Did
would
you-
let me answer.
Did you see how she flip-flopped what he was requesting and turned it against him? Like, he says, I'll even forego the monetary damages or something like that. He's like, well, what I'm concerned about is, like, your demand for admissions, because if you don't answer something, it can be deemed as admitted. And that's dangerous because it's not, it can, it's not really playing fair. She's actually playing fair, the judge, like, by allowing.
That's good.
Yeah, totally. And so she caught him say that about how how he would, remove the request for monetary damages, and she said.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Congress?
You know what?
I think that maybe it was good that I didn't say anything at all at the end because I was dying to say, like, did you just see that low blow? About the lawyer? Because that was really shitty.
Yeah,
The
she
last-
probably saw it.
Of course she had to hear it. You say that last thing and then old big mouth over here, me, who's like what he just said, basically, didn't say anything at all back.
What did he say?
He said, oh, I don't want to give my email out because you can see how this guy acts right now. Like, dealing with him is going to be fucking. He's like.
I was like, oh. Yeah, I scoffed a little. I was like,
But we got his email right.
yeah. But no, it's like literally mandated. I wanted to say that. I should have said that.
It's good when you have friends like Imker.
Why?
Because we're going to make some law firm red line art.
Oh, cool.
And we're going to publish
Now we're
some,
talking.
We're going to publish some Scientology red line art.
Yeah.
Oh my God, there it is,
Jesus.
finally.
Right
Finally
on.
something comes along.
That is great. Yes.
Can you look up Imker real quick?
Yeah.
It's been a while since we had anything to do.
It's so refreshing. Oh wait, Imker. This one?
Images.
It's raining.
Yeah, it's good.
So awesome.
Except for if it rains on the computer. Make sure there's something to cover it up. Water will go in there, it'll kill it instantly.
Alright, thanks.
So what does one do to make Scientology graphically translate into a satire? See the one right there on the right?
Oh, the Tumblr. The Tumblr with all the GIFs in it.
Yeah. See the one on the bottom right? The basketball? That's my favorite.
This one, right?
Yeah, that's my favorite one I did.
Did I just feel a water droplet?
That's high, medium, low. What the hell?
Some people like,
Go back to
Sorry.
Look at me, click, close it.
I'm trying. It doesn't.
Click on that one.
Which one?
The graphic itself.
This one? That's what I clicked on.
Oh, you just right click.
Yeah. Open.
Image and new.
So I won't have to do the court thing for a while, right? But I can try to gather some photos together and like a little statement, or I don't know, maybe you guys brief me on something.
Yeah, we will. We're gonna go to court before they told us to.
Okay, listen, yeah, let me know.
Cause I'm gonna. Jack, look too. What I said originally. You cancel the case, you start a new one, and then.
Yeah, but.
Because you don't want to.
Oh yeah.
Listen.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You don't want a dismissal. Dismissal will block us from it if we lose our fucking unlawful detainer. So it's a matter of, like right now, you're losing time on the unlawful detainer. Did you get the thing submitted, filed?
Just on I submitted it onto this case, the quiet title. I didn't get a chance to do it yet to the case that it matters on, the case that it matters on. So I'm gonna upload it right now.
Okay.
Here, let me show you. It's
Is it
actually really
signed?
good.
Is it signed?
No. I forgot to sign it. And I forgot the paper service. I just
Oh.
submitted it. That's what she said. I was testing the waters to see what she would, if she would get it immediately, and she did. She said she received a 26-page, thing, and that's why she was asked. Like, I appreciate it. Like, if you're gonna do anything with memorandums of points and authorities, like 26 pages, like please give me a courtesy copy.
Who?
The judge.
To whom?
To me, basically, but she didn't know she was talking to me yet.
You filed a 26-page thing?
Yeah. The motion to vacate, to let aside,
Let me see.
because I made all the cases related.
Filed it in the wrong case?
On purpose. Because it gives a summary breakdown of what we're dealing with, even though it's not like this.
Yeah,
I mean,
I know.
it's good, bro.
No. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'd like to say it's good, but the last time I read it, it was weak.
Yeah, it got a lot better.
Yeah, we're in the middle of the shittiest part of all this again. I want it to go away. What are you doing now in the rain?
Oh, I gotta take my kid to school. Gotta go enroll.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I guess I should go.
Which one? The little one?
It's right down the street. Right down the street from here.
Which one? That's cool.
It might be this one right here.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That's why I was telling you that school, if you needed to use our address for any reason to be in there, because I think you're on a different line of a different line. I think.
You can.
I think he's going to it. I'm pretty sure it's that one.
Cool.
Good.
It's the public school?
It's like a magnet public school.
Yeah, magnet.
Yeah, this one, is it Elysian Park? Like,
Elysian House.
with cat?
Magnet?
Yeah, the logo of his school is called Roommate, the cat.
Oh, okay.
And Roommate is the sculpture.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Where you park, there's a sculpture in the ground.
Oh.
And it's like next to that agave. It's upside down. That's Roommate, the cat, the sculpture that was being made for the school when the place blew up a long time ago in the 70s. And so it's like, that guy's a sculptor who's in the Smithsonian. So we have a piece of Smithsonian art that's upside down in the dirt up there that belongs to the school that never made it there because it was supposed to be delivered that week or something.
Oh shit.
And but your kid will know all about Roommate soon.
That's cool.
He's like the most famous cat in the world, actually.
Oh shit.
Because he was on all the TV and the movies when that was Edendale. Yeah.
Crazy. Shit, I have to go take him there.
So this is.
Those kids are
See
crazy.
you. Thank you.
See y'all soon.
Those kids are crazy over there. They sound like this all the time. It sounds like Vietnam up here sometimes in the warmer part of the year.
Insane. Kids are wild.
Yeah, they are.
But when you have the
So
parrots and the kids screaming at recess, and then they have the intercom system, they're like, "Well, Charlie 3, come to the fucking infirmary. Charlie 3, come
Charlie
to
3.
Yeah.
Well, Mercedes, come to the infirmary." And then like the parrots are all crackling, and the kids sound like little machine
parrots,
guns. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you
there's
got the
parrots.
construction workers like jackhammering. It sounds like fucking straight up Vietnam up here.
Yeah, straight up.
When the kids are in school, at least.
Yeah, this meeting, that was pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm proud of this one.
Really? Last time it wasn't boxed out enough.
Cool.
Yeah, it should have Kearney's better. Should have been better.
Court went pretty good, or better than Rona.
I don't get better as soon as I come up with evil ways to fucking make this man's life hell.
Alright, that's good.
I didn't finish it through the end, but it's still pretty strong throughout. It says, to the court on November 18th, 2021 at 8:30 as soon after we held, la 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 la. Defendant is requesting the default and default judgment to be set aside, vacated.
Sorry. We should go deliver papers.
In San Diego?
With a fucking, what do you call it, with a drive-by.
Oh, USB?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, totally.
It's a lot of paperwork, so I brought you this. If you want to copy it. I'll give you the short version to keep it simple, but you're gonna want certain files here because it's a lot of information dealing with this coming from. You guys are something else. Your clients. I mean, if I were you, I would feel sick to my stomach working with people like that. Scientology's a fucking crime, man. I'm just another Buddhist.
So he's a Scientologist lawyer, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so here.
That's what we'll find out though. That we piss him off right away. See.
This mention is made on the following grounds that the default judgment is
Usually
void.
they're kind of proud, right?
And that their testimony is a complete contradiction to their filed
Okay,
declarations.
see y'all soon.
See ya.
See ya.
That's what I was writing too.
Yeah, totally. A judgment secured by extrinsic fraud may be attacked at any time, either by motion or in an independent action.
Can you have it rated so it can go faster? Because you need to file this in the other thing. So if we're going to fix anything, it would be nice if I was to catch it before you were done, but you should start filing now.
Okay.
Because you're in the wrong room talking about the wrong thing to the wrong person when this should be filed.
Yeah.
And if you can leave to amend it, then I'd file it then just to get it going.
Okay.
So like,
Oh, here. Let me just get to what I wanted to read to you. It's like 2 paragraphs.
and if hers wasn't signed, then that's ridiculous because there's a signature that matches and it's like right here,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the one that you used to fucking sign it in reverse.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay. The motion shall be based upon this notice. Sorry, wrong one. It says, with all due respect to this court, we must alert the court of the fraud upon this court that makes this request for default and default judgment unjustified, premature, and illegal. This is a complex case. There is a related case. The judgment is void. This action is brought with malice and to vex and trouble, using tactics that are frivolous and solely intended to cause harm, unnecessary delay, and confusing the record with a bombardment of bad faith moves, such as entering for default when a judgment would be void on its face. This is a malicious prosecution case being represented to the court. The plaintiffs and their counsel are colluding to defraud me, my family, the court, the United States by alleging complete false allegations with no basis nor actual criminal prosecution sought by any law enforcement whatsoever.
Did we record any of that hearing?
Yeah.
You did? Where?
On the phone, right here. But it was recording from the TV, so our voices were going through the TV. I heard it.
Okay. What's more important is yes, I'm glad you're reading, but we need to make. You're good. You need to file your shit. We need to know what he said, because he said this was a 3-day notice on a foreclosure sale or something like that. So we want to know what. See, this guy's aiming not for an end of the quiet title. He's ending for sanctions. He's ending for our eviction. He said it. He said it himself. So that's 3 lawyers. Yeah, no, that's 3 cases that are simultaneously actions to evict.
Oh shit.
This isn't about the quiet title. This is about him evicting. He is pulling a fucking all-out assault on us at the same time, and it's apparent.
Mm-hmm.
She probably noticed at the same time, and she's like, I want to know why there are these 3 cases at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we already won on the merit, and she doesn't have a means to see it. I told you to only do one thing. I told you to file the fucking.
I know. I was couldn't find the fucking document.
But you're not. She's in court right now, and you can't fucking submit her the fucking. The only thing.
Okay, the only thing that matters.
The only thing you took from me that I asked you.
I brought it back to you 3 times.
Okay, but it's the only thing I asked you to file. And you didn't have it?
No, I did, and then you called, and then we got called on. And then that's what I was on, but only because.
She just said you were on mute over here.
What?
Yeah, how did you call in?
They called. She wanted me to hear her voice.
How did you call in?
From the phone? No, from the web. The computer, the web.
Oh, there's no microphone on the computer.
Yeah, no.
I thought you were using a telephone.
I was, but I needed to download that.
You would have been like the cleanest.
Oh, that one over there?
You would have been the cleanest sound in the whole room from this red one.
Oh, the red one? I didn't know what the email was, so that's partially why I turned it off. But then it didn't give me a phone link like it normally does, because it's in Microsoft Teams, but I just saw where the phone link was at the end of the trial. Hearing, I mean. I sent that
So
to
the next time we
Patty.
do this, I want to sit in my own private little box that we build.
Okay, yeah, that's cool.
Because I don't like that I can't like have any privacy.
Yeah, if we could create like little miniature stations, like as if we're like on battleship, like in a flying, like little pods of what are they? What's it called
Can we file these papers?
What's the pilots?
I don't care. I just want to file these.
That's what I'm doing, but like, can you just tell me what that is?
You don't know.
The cockpit. It's called a cockpit.
I'm just thinking about the logical steps to do. And because it's rainy day, you'd imagine that not many people are going to go to the courthouse, which means this is a day we should go to the courthouse.
Okay, for what?
To submit papers in person for fucking court filing, to fucking get the shit shut down. You know? Bird's able to fucking stop this from happening again. Bird can see the truth. So if we're not providing the truth, like we have 2 iPads. I don't give a fuck. If we have 2 iPads, let's put 2 iPads in the hands of 2 judges.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Let's do it then. Where the fuck is that order? There it is.
let's make a slideshow. If a slideshow can be embedded, then then we can literally, in 4K, you can export a slideshow. So if we're using Illustrator, we can export a web page, or not a web page. We can export the data of a PDF if it's in Illustrator in 4K resolution. I can upload 4K resolution to a YouTube video of text that's 4K that can actually just linearly go through the time frame, can turn the pages theoretically, or go through the sequences plus play video in singular
That'd be
form,
amazing.
and that would allow a judge to, with one URL, and I'm telling you, 1968avon.lm, like, why would we have the domain name? Why, we're the squatters? No. They need to become the squatters now. I'm sorry, but you're not cooperating on any of the level I've been asking you to participate at the level that we need to.
Okay. I understand what you mean. It's just stick some fucking focus.
And today when I was saying I wanted to just type the answers,
what do you mean?
when I just wanted to type the answers just on a typewriter, it's because they asked some questions that I was not a problem with me answering, and I was going to show good faith that I had a piece of paper.
I wanted to do that. You were so fucking like...
I just wanted to have it on a typewriter.
That was fine. I said I would do it.
You were literally kept on saying you need to use the computer.
I would have done it on a typewriter, but at that point you were like not even having it at all. You're so headstrong about it. It's like, and all I was wanting to do is read that one thing that I read out loud to you about the format, about wanting how they wanted the letters.
They didn't give a shit though. They just wanted the damn information.
I guess you're right. It doesn't even get filed with the court. I just forgot that. I just remembered that right now.
Yeah, it just goes to the law firms.
I understand what you meant, and I thought that was a good idea, and I was all for it too. And I loved writing the typewriter over the printer, over the computer any day. I was just under the misconception of like the format being a certain way, and it wasn't trying to preclude you from actually like doing it either. It wasn't meant to be a block. You took it like that, and then you wouldn't let it go. Where's the fucking download?
You kind of got hung up on it, on like the whole formatting thing, and you missed out on the point that I was just trying to use our energy to cover ground. So Benjamin's supposed to help us. So could you actually get down what we need to do? The steps we're supposed to do? Like, I would love to read this thing. We have hello?
It's only one more paragraph.
Yeah, how are you? Well, I'll be frank with you. I use your product because it's great, but I'm an independent party who owns a non-profit that's basically been forced to start a fraud team for real estate fraud because Scientology has occupied my neighborhood and taken up to 10% of all the property within half a mile, and has been defrauding us through mortgage frauds, through appraisal schemes, and it's kind of been rampant. So our neighborhood's been doing a private investigation for 2 years now, and you guys are the number 1 or 2 research tool that we use. So. Yeah, it's wonderful. I love it. I wish it was a little cheaper, but we're probably spent like $7,000 in real estate tools this year, unfortunately for us, because we don't buy property really. We just preserve it. Predominantly in Los Angeles, but it typically requires a few zones to do the true research, because there's a lot of lending home loans that seem to feed back from Pittsburgh and then New York occasionally that are related, and Oregon and stuff. But Los Angeles is the only zone I can afford typically to be doing research in. Yeah, you guys don't have any deals that would work with a nonprofit. Like, we're a 501c3 approved federal tax ID exempted organization for community. Yeah, sure. What's today? That's Monday. I just got out of a really terrible court hearing, so I would say give me like at least 3 days, and like 3 days from now, and I'll have some time, like Wednesday or Thursday. I think so. It does right now. Yeah, I mean, if you guys call, I'm not gonna say I can't talk unless I'm really busy. So I'll be here. I'm always at home. It's called the Harwell Hamilton Harris Fellowship Parkway Conservancy Incorporated. It's a long one, but it's a famous architect. Harwell Hamilton Harris Fellowship Parkway Conservancy Incorporated. Yeah, right on. Thank you. You guys are a great tool. Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. Jackal, we gotta finish this. So you wanna go to the other computer at all?
Oh, yeah.
If we can actually make a better station, that would be good.
Yeah, totally.
I'm down to provide that opportunity for a better station.
Alright.
But
cool.
To provide that opportunity for a better station, we would most likely implement the workbench in some way. Jackal, they're trying to evict us right now. Could you use your senses to like do this from a standing machine?
Yeah. No, it's just that I was gonna make it darker, but she can read that.
Who?
The judge, right?
Which judge?
The judge.
The judge you were just talking to?
Yeah.
I thought you already submitted it. You told me you already submitted it.
No, that was the thing I was reading.
Huh?
The thing that I was reading.
Wait, you just told me you submitted it.
Yeah, okay.
I don't understand what you're saying. You said you submitted it.
I submitted a motion, and what I was just showing you is an order for entry of judgment that is referred to, but I haven't submitted it yet.
Can I suggest that we file this in the proper case first, and then give her the judgment that we won, because it shows.
That's what I'm talking about. Okay.
The judgment is 2 pages or 3 pages. It's super short.
Yeah.
And then you have choleras, which is even stronger because it's not some weak ass bird shit.
Yeah. Okay.
That's funny. I would put the weak ass bird shit with choleras by putting together in a PDF.
Yeah.
And by using a PDF combiner to do it so that you're not degrading the file.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't use the V flat to do it. I'd use a photograph of it because use a photograph to do it, you're going to have a hard rendering of it. And if you do it with a bright light on a flat table where it's perfectly flat, no staple holding together each sheet, it'll be a really good read of it because it'll be a JPEG version of it turned into the PDF.
Alright.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
And I would even just use it on the wall, like, you know, if I'll.
Huh?
What is the phone going crazy for? Hello? Who's calling? Oh yeah, I did actually. I'm just can I actually get a schedule a time to talk to you? I just got out of a trial and I kind of need to do a little summary with some people for a minute. It didn't, but if you give me like an hour, I could totally talk. I just gotta wrap my head around what just happened. It was a pretty gnarly being slaughtered for nothing trial, so that's okay. That'll be fine. If you give me a call back, I'm going to be here. I'm at home all day. Thank you so much for your time too. Hey.
Okay. Okay.
What's it going to take for you to get Isabella's letter out?
Alright, yeah.
From the other machine?
No? Yeah, I'll get some stuff.
So I was going to say is papers. If you put a paper, like, I noticed that if you Huddle Hamilton Harris graphic, wherever it went, the book you had it in, it's got a nice spot. Open your eyes.
Yeah, they're open.
Okay. So, I'm trying to help you.
Okay.
So the font was nice and it's in the middle, right? So if you put that kind of page, which is a different page, on the wall up there, like I was saying like earlier, you know, your bars are in a little bit more
Margins, yeah.
than they do on the pleadings. Like, I guess that's there, but if you use, like, stylize it, so if your pleading line actually has like a graphic striping to, come on, where are you?
I'm right here.
You're asleep.
It's just a pattern.
I'm trying to fucking differentiate something to make us have a standing out looking.
Okay,
I'll just do it myself.
No, you can just
talk to you.
talk. You can
I am talking to you.
I'm not sleeping.
You're not even filing the thing.
Because you're talking to me. You asked me. You can't. You literally stopped. You would stop talking, demanding my attention.
Because you're supposedly doing something, yet you're falling asleep, and then I'm trying to tell you, and then you look away.
You're being ridiculous.
You're literally unable to finish. You haven't submitted anything yet.
Because you literally. Okay. I don't, but you're literally like the last 20 minutes.
I am not to blame.
I'm not blaming you.
I'm not listening in. Honestly, like the last 4 hours over and over.
Come on.
It's like a matter of life and death to get this shit in, Jackalope.
I'm trying, man. It's uploading.
Jackalope, I don't
It's
know.
uploading.
The amount of time we've been bullshitting since the court was over, I could have actually heard what you had written and had some
Yeah,
input
but
on
you
it.
talked
So
instead.
I can't even talk to you without you falling asleep or talking over me. So miserable for me.
You're the one that always talks over me.
Well, I did not.
Okay, whatever. It doesn't matter. I don't want to fucking fight with you. Stop.
Maybe you could just stand up and use the computer that's not going to put you to sleep.
Okay. Still in criticism. Step ST.
I was trying to talk to you about something interesting.
Then talk to me. I'm not stopping you.
Every time I do, you fall asleep in the first second.
No, I don't.
Bullshit.
It's just about the way my body position is held.
Is this too much for me to deal with you just saying no it isn't at all times?
Because it's not a big deal.
What's the big deal is you disregarding everything I'm saying.
But that's what I mean. You don't have to take it so personally.
I never get to tell you anything that makes any difference.
God damn it.
You literally fucking
Today was a shit show. You know why? Because
Why?
last night you didn't just go along with me.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't. You literally spent 25 minutes telling me how you were going to use the computer and I wasn't listening to your format.
I wasn't opposing you.
You did for 25
I
minutes.
made
It's on camera. I have video proof.
I had a question. I brought up a
No,
question.
you didn't. You brought it up in opposition and we
Not
both
in
were
opposition.
working in a way that was like cooperative, and this is like a repeat pattern over and over. And then you pushed every button you could to make me frustrated.
No, I didn't do that on purpose at all. You were like so hell bent on this fucking thing. On being in that mood that you wanted to be
I
in.
don't want to be in it. I just want you to stop repeating yourself with a practice of basically disregarding me and then saying you're going to help and then completely going against the grain right when we're starting and telling me that I can't do it that way because you're basically imposing some change on it that's going to basically stop us from going forward and have to go slower for whatever fucking reason and then fail miserably because I'm stressed out by the fact you can't go at the speed that makes me even learn in an effective way.
Maybe if you don't consider my suggestions as not a block and just something to go, so me participating in your world.
I do, but you're too slow.
No, I'm not. If you would just let it
You
happen.
have the knowledge to do it, Jackalope.
Yeah, I
You
do.
had none of the knowledge to go forward. It was literally a 10-minute wait before you even made a move. We were ready to go sit there. All I had to do was answer. Driver's license number, name, address, location I was from.
So you just, why didn't you then? Because I was
you got up and because you wouldn't fucking stop running around to do your way, which was your slow way. With
I
no
sat there
answers.
for minutes waiting for you and like you didn't
Go
even.
fuck yourself. Hate arguing with you.
You're the one that's arguing.
I don't like the way that you make me feel about all this.
I disagree with you.
How can you disagree with the fact that I am unhappy?
Because you shouldn't be.
In my life, in my relationship.
But I'm not doing that to you. You're doing it.
How am I doing it? You're not cooperative with anything I'm doing.
Yes, I am. I stand by that.
Hope you step on glass.
You need to just get.
That makes me so upset.
You're doing this to yourself. I'm just trying to fucking file this thing.
I was just trying to work with you, and you're picking a fight. I was trying to share an idea with you, and you're tuning me out and falling asleep and like mad at me because I'm trying to fucking do something that matters for our life because you've been fucking so negligent that you're causing us all this fucking harm.
I'm not mad at you.
It's like the worst month of my life ever this month.
You need to relax.
You need to take shit seriously and handle something because your irresponsibility is costing us our livelihood.
It's not.
I am so miserable with the way you've been handling shit. I hate you for this. You don't need to during this court case as much as they did.
I did not.
You fucking literally give me all these fucking dirty looks, jabs, and tell me to shut up, and it's like, I don't need it.
Just when the judge is talking.
Look, I know that. I don't need you to do it. It's not helping. It literally is putting me on the worst fucking...
Stop whining. You're being a baby. Calm
I don't care
down.
for being a baby. I'm really unhappy the way you're treating me.
I'm not treating you badly.
Then maybe you'll be able to recognize it when I'm not here anymore.
You're lame, Eric. Why are you being like this? I'm not fucking mean to you. You're just overreacting because of the sensitive nature and the stress that you're on, and you're taking it out on me, and you're blaming it out on me. You're being ridiculous. I'm not doing this to you. You don't blame it on me. Don't blame it on me. Come on. Don't blame it on me. I hate you, Shapiro's. Oh, a bunch of losers. Jackalope! Jackalope!
What's up? Look, why are you yelling?
I know you left.
What happened? What?
I'm sad. I'm sorry. I don't want to hurt your feelings. Please don't go.
Sounded like you got hurt. Got stabbed by something.
Sorry. I didn't want to make it sound like a cry wolf or anything. I was just sad.
I understand how you feel, but maybe if you get pretty please, maybe take it the right way. Maybe you could get your medicine again, because this is you're really causing me to have bad days lately. And I love you, and I don't have a problem with you, but this is unreasonable of you to like completely just push and push and push and push. You don't have to do this like this. Cause I really am unhappy, like going through that every day, and I'm really like feeling that you aren't cooperative lately in a way that's understanding of what I'm even saying. You just take all the opportunity you have to work with me together on anything, and you make me second to whatever it is that like is your prerogative, and it's like that's great, but what about I'm trying to just get the work done because I want to be in front of this thing. That's all I even care about. I just want it to go away.
I'm not trying to get in your way, Juggalo.
But you literally
I just
don't
make
even-
suggestions and you take
what?
it the wrong way.
You know how hard it is for me to get some of this done because there's a lot of stuff that it takes to get done?
Maybe you could be a little like easygoing about it. Like you don't have to get so mad and like upset and like make it last like 5 hours long. The anger and the hatred. You could just be like, I don't want to do that, and I'll be okay with that.
Maybe you could stop doing it though so often.
I like to make suggestions.
It's fine, but I've been thinking about what I have to do for so fucking long that you are literally preventing our success.
And then you say hurtful shit like that.
But it's not fucking inaccurate anymore. Like, this is some terrible feeling. You're keeping me in a sick state of mind by
No,
not
I'm
just...
not. How am I doing that?
By not allowing us to get forward enough on our case.
I get it, yeah.
The way we, like, have to. You're, like, putting me through unneeded misery and, like, pain and agony and, like, just, like, putting us in danger.
That's right.
Our whole life is in danger because of your, like, neglect for the time frequency that this stuff needs to go in. Because of your decisions to make, like, your decisions on your own without, like, taking what I have to say as a piece of, like, reality.
Do take it in reality.
It doesn't matter what you say at this point. I can't be convinced otherwise because the case, I had an opinion to file all this way in advance. We're still in default because of your decisions, and it's been 2 weeks and I'm going through hell. It's been 3 weeks, actually, realistically, and I'm going through hell, and I was going through a whole month of it before that because we already got the papers. I'm fucking really, really, really going through hell. And the fact that that guy seemingly knew that we were stalling, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We weren't stalling, but why would he have an opinion of that?
Mm.
Because he's with them. And the fact of the matter is, the things that you and I need to get done, simple little things like your phone died, or the website erased your message because you like pushed the back button or something, has kept us from making a real report. Really sending a piece of mail to the CSLB has kept us from sending a report that does anything.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are steps that are mandatory. Really sending in our recorded notice really matters. Really sending in our paperwork, it really fucking matters. Today's Monday, and you're fighting me about these things when we need to have our case beat now. So that letter from Isabella needed to be in at 8:30 in the morning. It's 11 or 12:30 now. They go to lunch, but today's decisions are done by 1 o'clock. days are so short and almost nothing happens for us, and it's only getting harder and worse and scarier to the point where I'm now like actually considering that like we have to barricade ourselves in here just to fucking like know that we're not going to be fucking like with the brackets and stuff like that. I'm scared, Jackalope. I'm actively worried. And I'm not worried because we're in the wrong. I'm worried because we're not doing the right thing. Like she said, you have to, she said it herself, the judge, you have to play by the rules of the court. Well, you have no ADA filing in. You know? I said that's the first thing we make a template for and have it ready to go and in at all times. The second thing is use legal as a fucking, as the e-filing service for us. So, just because we can, why don't we actually start over with our e-filing so that you can't even end up in our old cases by any means necessary.
Yeah.
No one can even end up in it.
Let's
You
do it.
start a brand new e-filing journal, and or another one that'll take a, well, it'd be good to do two even, one that'll take a nonprofit. You know? First of all, the second thing is read the statement I made.
Where?
It's over here.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Didn't get in because that would have been a fucking note. But you never make notes. Every single hearing must have a case summary note.
Okay.
Otherwise you're gonna get fucking walked all over.
Alright.
Every single one. And it's the first thing that should happen immediately. Like he said, oh, I'm gonna file right after an objection. Remember?
Yeah.
And what did he say? I don't even know. I should have already known so I could go forward and move faster because he's trying to move faster. You're already going too slow on this because you haven't filed. I would like to read what you had, but you're over there still. Because I thought it needed improvement the other day, and I would say that we can improve it by boxing in each of the arguments, because if you don't have a winning case right off the bat, like, if your summary can't beat it, you have a summary, right?
Yeah.
If your summary can't beat it with evidence embedded, then we didn't win yet, and we have to go to trial. If your summary can beat it with evidence embedded, then there's no reason to go to trial. It'll be decided for in our favor.
Okay, I see.
Only things that are in the pleadings can be summary proceeding, right?
Yeah, this is a pleading.
So this would be the opportunity to leave to amend, because we were, first of all, the fucking first of all part of this was, we were told that we were allowed to leave to amend to make a new case.
Yeah.
There is no reason for these people in here. They weren't actually to be served yet because we weren't ready to go forward yet.
And there's a hearing set for it too.
Let me say what I'm saying. She told us in the last trial, the judge, I'm authorizing you to go refile with new pleading to amend your answer. So we never served them because we didn't intend to serve them. Therefore, there's no reason for them to sue us for any of this or for us to be in a trial with them. In fact, we let them dismiss till we are ready to move forward with them, but they're not necessary parties because it is lending home. The second you can get lending home assaulted for this, we have a real party. You know?
Okay.
The second part is this is a quiet title action for fraud, right? So let the bitches fucking raise their hand. If they want to be a part of it, then that's who you charge. Look at the civil file action, the RICO civil.
Yeah, okay.
And you're missing the opportunity here. If you're sitting on that, you're gonna fucking be asleep in 5 minutes, and I was just like, it's just a big loop. So you gotta do what you gotta do. I don't want to tell you what to do, but what can I do to make it better for you? You just keep on going to the machine that makes you go to sleep.
I could go on that machine? Or a laptop?
Well, I mean, it would be nice to put the floor down and use the mat instead of just blocking the wall.
Can you just come and look at the vacate thing so I could submit it?
Yeah.
Or I can...
Yeah, why are you even submitting it to that lady instead of just giving her the judgment that's the 3 pages that she needed while she's in that room before she goes to lunch? Why can't you...
How do I do that without, like, how do I file that?
What do you mean?
Like, as a notice? Like a request for judicial notice?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
That's what I thought so, too.
But where's the pages I brought home that I told you about that were, like, from a book? Where are the pages I brought home? The 4 that were crisscrossed.
Oh, those are, at the moment I really don't know. I think they're together with the rest of the book. And the rest of the book is right here.
What's that one?
That one's the new one.
Let's see.
The one you just got. I just got to pick up this stuff. Right? I might have to.
I made a valid point though. Every time I make a valid point, we should write them down from now on.
Okay.
Because like, besides the fact that the prior judge had actually let us. So can I see that drop-down list?
Yeah. Sorry.
I have a statement over there. I have a statement to add to that statement. I have a statement to add to that statement. Where's the list? By the way, I made a filing while you were over here doing whatever you're doing. I made a reservation. That's what the reservation was that they brought up. You should see. I filed reservations while we were like in the waiting queue. You see? Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it yet. For that case.
Yeah, I made reservations for. I think I did motion to joinder or something. Or if I didn't do motion to joinder, I did. And so, what have they done to us? They're encompassing us with shit. But here's the trick. Interrogatories serve.
That's right.
So, aren't we allowed to have interrogatories on them?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, we want the same thing because what happens is we nail Marcusson because they have no cause of action and they're trying to claim that they have ownership through something, but like, there's no contract. They're just committing fraud. In fact, what we have is proof of them committing fraud by them putting our trial evidence into their trial book and then specifically saying we stole it from them. In 2019, you had ownership of this? No. And furthermore, Bird should be disbarred, which will fuck up our ruling, wouldn't it? Or it wouldn't?
It would have to get retried again when it's a fraud on the court. Yeah, the whole thing gets dismantled.
Dismantled?
Like it's just all as if it didn't happen.
So it's not saying anything.
Yeah.
I don't know if he caught that piece of evidence. Did I say it out loud? I said that. Oh yeah, that's why I was trying to. Because I had it. I was dismissing Longplat and fucking Marcusson, and I stopped for just Cheney, right? But then you went and challenged it, and then they didn't do it. You know what happened? When I did that, it left Cheney, the one suing us for a quiet title, and she has no ownership. Left Longplat going, what the fuck? What the fuck? And their lawyer being like, objection, hello. But their client, which you don't.
Well, they can just send it across for dismissal.
Could have been done right then and there. It would have fucking been. See, what's important is that you make decisions that you're decisive in, and that you make them and you hold to them. So when you went from fucking one end of the story to the other, when she's like, you wanted me to do a CID or whatever.
IDC?
Yeah, but then all of a sudden she's trying to challenge me with, well, it'd be better to go this other way.
Well, she was saying that. I wasn't saying that. I was trying to stick with what you were saying, like doing the meet and confer and not answering the questions.
In the middle of it, you started to go the other direction.
No, I wasn't ever. I never was I trying to imply that.
Okay, well, I didn't get that, and she didn't get that.
I didn't even say anything.
Yeah, you did.
I said, what? The IDC route.
It's right before the last time when I said I was going to stick with the IDC. You just gone the other direction.
I didn't go the other direction.
Okay.
I didn't intend to. I didn't say that. Is that why I was wondering why everyone was so confused?
Because you were confusing everybody, and I was like just making sure not to change my answer.
I wasn't even saying much. I thought.
Well, why?
Because I didn't want to to have like the back and forth that you say that we like do sometimes. That is like
back and forth was the fact that you're interrupting like me to tell me to shush.
I wasn't trying to tell you shush. In that instance, I wasn't trying to tell you shush. I thought you were asking me.
For what?
What?
I was just trying to not like have to deal with people being rude.
Okay.
That was very rude. Like I can understand when the judge doesn't like to deal with people like my personality. But my point that I didn't even make was going to be, the world takes every type of person, and I teach art and education and in college levels, so I understand when people are used to as well. But my field and your field are different types of communication. And so I want to respect your type of communication and learn to adapt to it and its needs. But if you could understand that I'm not someone that deserves to be put down based on the communication skills that I've been taught are what are my prime function in this world. And so if this lawyer finds that it's necessary to use his tactics of submission to hurt my well-being psychologically, I find that it's worthy of asking for his being barred from the proceedings as a lawyer. He's in bad faith. He's disqualifiable. This is an unjust relationship that is not neutral and is absolutely sickening, and it would make anyone sick to make themselves feel shitty just to deal with somebody. And it is not actually something. When she says, well, to put you through that, well, to put us through the fucking whatever, it's not that big a deal to put us through that, because what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, look, here's how you spell out fraud, all right? So I'll only give you one of your pieces of your puzzle, because your puzzle's pretty big, but I have the whole puzzle, okay? I definitely have the whole puzzle. It's this little French puzzle, and it's a metaphor. Let's just use this page, and this page, and this page, and this page as a single idea of the corner. Now, once we fill out the corner, or the four corners, rather, the middle finds itself. The puzzle only has a certain number of pieces, and the edges are all the edges, and the corners are the only defining part that would make the whole thing is structure. If I need to assemble a structure, and I know a time frequency, and I have a public record of your transactions, and I know what time you had a suit because of a fucking public record from Netter or whomever, or from Unicourt, I now have a history of your log that shows your relationship to time on Earth. And your relationship to time on Earth specifically outlines your CSLB, your FTB, your cases with Melansky, David Glacier, and a list of others, about 5 or 6 long, and about 10 people long in total. Your relationship to Cheney Shapiro, 401k being of several names, is public entity knowledge through fucking the Public Request Act because of it being a charity or a taxless entity. Your relationship to paying taxes is also public information through request to the IRS. All of these informations, for the exception of some of your escrow information, is accessible, and that is accessible through subpoena, which I'm already entitled to. The information you've supplied to the police, this public attorney, is all requestable, and I've already requested most of it and have most of it, and therefore I'm able to align the time frames in which you made statements, the truth, the 7 cameras I have, and all of your lawsuits, in conjunction with the fact that you defrauded the city of Los Angeles, the state of California, and the United States government's trustee for bankruptcy. Therefore, you are not doing legal homeowner occupancy, you are doing mortgage fraud, and your mortgage fraud is excessive, and it's in all of your properties. Whether you like to admit it or not, you're involved in tax step fraud, you're involved in mortgage fraud, you're involved in willful intent to disturb the peace and create nuisance and what's called waste on the property, and you have hidden construction deficit and caused a negligence, premises negligence that would actually, if you look at the video, it would look like you willfully intimidated and attempted to create it over a set amount of time, because the amount of time you've been stalking us and harassing us has dated back to a year before we even knew you were doing anything, because your gang of, what do you call them, workers, odd jobs, are also your labor, what do you call that? Labor
workers?
No, labor taking advantage of laborers.
Human trafficking?
Your human labor trafficking practice, and your unfair wages practice, and your illegal,
slavery, basically.
Yeah, your illegal slavery, basically, that you've somehow managed to coerce people who have no other choice to do.
Yeah, vulnerable.
Yeah. And meanwhile, you do what's a common practice now, which is the same thing as commercial backed mortgage securities fraud on appraisal through tenancy in common and 1031 tax deferred exchange swaps between interfamily and false appraisaling at the higher value by construction improvement, supposedly mostly in the area of deficit through subdivision and other attempts at making false rents at higher numbers until the property is so high of a property value that you can consider yourself worth more equity, so you qualify for higher loans under these false pretense because you never even had the real work in the first place, and it's a scheme against the community and neighborhood because you have involved yourself with Silverwood Properties and Resourceful Construction in a feedback loop with Marcusson to A, hide fucking trash in hillsides using pool permits, secondly, use property sales from Ken to get contracted work, and build Zoom and House to use like unjust enrichment through giving yourselves contracts.
Underground economy.
Yeah, underground economy and unfair antitrust violations.
Antitrust violations, yeah.
Meanwhile, you create EPA and CEQA violations. You create fucking city LAMC violations. You create penal code and civil code violations. Meanwhile, you create
environmental hazards and
endangering species and destroying trees. And then you do construction deficit on the people you're going to sell these homes to. All the meanwhile, basically telling them, hey, look, why don't you do this where I'll let you buy the home from me, you buy it from, I buy it from you, you buy it from me, and what we'll do is we'll put you in another house for a little bit. That's a house we just finished working on, it'll be nice. Then we'll build your house, then we're going to buy it during that time. Then when it's done, you'll buy it back. We'll swap it again. And we're going to drive the price of it up, and we'll save money on the build because the owner occupancy will allow us to avoid permits. The process will be a pool scam, basically, not the pool scam with the hiding of trash, but the pool scam in the way we organize it. Then we'll encumber the people next door if there's an empty lot, you know, and then we'll push forward, and with that we'll subdivide or add another ADU on it. We'll add a couple ADUs on it, and once we do that, we'll get up to 6 ADUs. Then we'll start to raise the rents to six parcels at the full value of the price subdivided times itself. You know, so like if the parcel is 1, 2, then we'll sell each subdivided piece for $1 million basically, and that'll be at that value in less than a few years because we're going to do this to the whole neighborhood at the same time because we get our value of equity up so high that we have the means to buy that much property on mortgage fraud appraisals because they get the means to raise the property so high on certain buildings little at a time. They now have all this equity so they can buy this building and this building and this building and this building pretty much right back to back, and now they've taken a neighborhood over and they've raised the value up of it all falsely. Now they have a shit ton of equity because they did all this intertransfer, and they're going to sell 1 or 2 pieces because that's a huge amount of equity on those 1 or 2 pieces, and now they can do it to another 2 blocks instead of 1 block, and they do this all on not paying taxes, and it's just a fucking, it's a con because Ken will force you on to Richard. Richard will do construction deficit in the first place. They won't pay their workers the right amount. There aren't permits set up. There's no protections. There aren't insurance. There's no engineering. There's no architect that's real, that's good. There's no anything other than Pinterest fucking design techniques and fucking spray paint marks for fucking Mexicans who don't know how to fucking build like America. No journeymen. Just fucking hard laborers that don't know their shit.
They're used as gangs, like
they're used to intimidate.
Out of your, willfully intimidate you out of property.
So what I'm saying is that's the crime, and I'm just telling you the corners of the pieces. And I just kind of outlined to you how the corners go together and make a whole puzzle, but I didn't tell you where to look for everything. And if you had to think about it, I'd say it'd take you roughly 2 years to remember where you put everything. You know? And I already have it all of it. So you either burn me down, kill me, or pay me off, or get the fuck out of my life. But either way, I'm going to sue you, and I don't even think you have the money to be sued. So I'm going after Lending Home, the real people. I'm going after fucking Quality Loan Service. I'm going after fucking Coldwell Bankers. So why don't you just get the fuck out of my life and we call it even? In fact, why don't we race for pink slips up the hill on motorcycles and see who can get to the top first, Judd? Or are you too pussy to fucking race me? You know?
Oh yeah, that is. That was excellent. That was really like cohesive. And I'm sorry.
It's okay. I bet you the court clerk, if there was one, would be like, "Damn it, slow down! Slow down! We don't even have words for that! Slow down!"
Yeah, totally. I know, I need to get one for our next hearing. Just like have it already set up. What were the other documents?
Yeah, I guess my story, for my sake of saying it a little further, it's like, so if I'm trying to outline your puzzle, it involves time. Time and overlapping systems. And I know that during this one period you had a house. This is the key ingredient here. The puzzle piece you didn't realize I'm looking at. You were specifically supposed to pay for David Glazier's house. It was owed to him. And you kind of fucked with him on the date. And at that same time you bought another house. And at that same time you bought another house. And at that same time you took on a debt, got sued, and then you denied them that you had the money and you couldn't do anything about it, you were going to live in it. At that same time, you got another loan under the same loan number with the same lender, and you pursued another house, and you put more money in your 401k, and around that same time, you told the IRS about one incident of having it, while having reported that you had it for 5 years or 6 years prior to that, while also stating that you had paid it 2 years, but it's currently 3 years in deficiency. You state that you make over $3 million with a $500 gross revenue, even though you deduct over all of your cash flow to be something that was negligible of $39,000 of income. It makes you look bad when you check every box is no when you should have checked yes. It makes you look bad when you don't check the box to be auditable, and when your business entities all are shells for each other in a...
Including Long Flats.
Yeah, and Long Flats is not an exempted entity. It is a entity that is built in the wrong structure.
Yeah, and that's because he's from England that he didn't realize to do that, right?
Well, furthermore, it's indicatable by the mortgage. So where's the mortgage?
But his...
Don't we have him on here? Any long... do we have any...
Probably, but we should organize the digital aspect of it. But I know that where it is...
I know we're supposed to. Can we look up a PSRK real quick?
Yeah.
Because if you're putting in something to these people, I wanted to do it right, and that's why we were supposed to do my spreadsheet, and you're going to kill me.
I'm just submitting the... what's it called? The order, and we'll work on that together.
I needed you to submit Isabella's letter.
Okay.
Isabella's letter handled it.
Okay. Well,
They wanted to know how proof of service wasn't handled. You have evidence of it, then you have a prima facie case if you have 3 of them. You know, if you have one solid one. You have a person who saw what happened. You have video. The point you have video and her, you have a solid no fucking way can you go forward, start over.
okay.
You're waiting so too long, and the fact you don't handle it as first is like irresponsible of you. It is.
Wait, I'm not purposely trying to do that. I'm just doing these...
Then the next thing we were going to do, once we had that in, is we were supposed to finish the police report because it would co-join with your...
Well, we're still doing that.
It would co-join with what you're saying, but we would make sure that everything was boxed in by evidence that was embedded. And I know you don't embed any documents.
I don't have that yet.
No, well, I wanted to do it for real this time because it's about us changing.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. I want to do that.
But it starts with Isabel's letter and the videos that connected to it.
Okay. Alright. Please say this.
Because it's a 2-minute window. This is some seriously simple shit.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want Isabel's to be simple, if you want it to be simple, I would keep the one we wrote, but submit one that's on the type of paper that you want to do the way you do, where it goes, I, Isabel, whatever, am over the age of 18 and at all times am able to testify if I am called to. On such and such date, between this time and this time, I was a witness to the incident that, the time frame, I was a witness to the time frame that is subject to this court's jurisdiction under the, if service was made. But service was not made, as I only witnessed my neighbor having a seizure in her front yard and standing there frozen with a form of narcolepsy cataplexy. She had a stalker drive up in a car, photograph her with a camera, almost crashed their car into another car, honk, and I shooed them off, and they drove down the hill. I was told later by the husband that the car went to the bottom of the hill from his camera's view when he noticed it after I pointed it out, and sat in the back looking at their kitchen window for an hour until another identical car like it came over Avon Street, turned right, and left by Echo Park heading left, which is very peculiar because the three cars that are involved in an interaction or something like that were all the identical white car. And the only thing that this reeks of is what it already has been suspected to be, which is a Church of Scientology organization stalking my neighbors, and now potentially stalking me because I'm actually involved in reporting this, and I don't want them to be threatening my family or me or my neighbors, and they have gone too far. These people have been committing more than harassment in our neighborhood and a destruction and a nuisance in our neighborhood with a willful intent to harm our neighborhood through an intent through a mortgage scheme that is apparent to most of the people around here, since they've tried to defraud all of the houses around here at some point or another. Some of us have been short-sailed, others of us have been construction deficited. We've all been fucked with by Silverwood Properties and Resourceful Construction and the Church of Scientology trying to make a heavy presence in the Echo Park neighborhood. There's an over 10% hostile takeover of property in the Echo Park neighborhood of Los Angeles that is similar and equivalent to the Church of Scientology in Florida Clearwater, which includes Paris Morphopoulos, the leader of the Church of Scientology's district supervisor in Clearwater's own family member, Kathy Morphopoulos, as a chief mortgage broker. And this is something I am making a statement to and am aware of, and that I am aware of my neighbor being stalked by Church of Scientology vehicles and people, because this has been 2 years of hell, and I caught only one thing that day between 2:00 whatever and 2:00 whatever, or 4:58 and 5 o'clock. There's a stalker. They drive by. They try to take a picture. They honk the horn. I shoo them off. I get out of my car. I'm facing with my back to Elishba, but I see her in the rearview mirror. I'm sitting in the car listening to the radio, and I see she's stuck there. And then I'm horrified at the person who just pulls up out of nowhere, blocks my driveway, blocks me in, and pulls out a camera, rolls down their window, slides their car forward a little bit because they don't hit the brake hard enough, and then hit the gas, and then take off while taking pictures. It's just like, come on, this is the second time this month that I've seen this incident happen with the same people, and I know there are 3 men independently stalking her that are in the neighborhood that are part of this organization. And if yes, so how do I know? I live above her house. I look down at it all the time, and I can look down at the people who are stalking her from even higher. And this has been 2 years of construction, insanity, assault on these people's homes because they were able to discover a mortgage fraud, which they've been telling me about for quite some time and showing me the documents on, and it is quite apparent that these people are the victims and that this is a complete and total fraud on the court. Boom.
Totally, that's excellent. That's really great. Okay, that's what we
And then we
want.
keep the other clever one.
Yeah, for our writing and for our work.
No, you submit it later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like for writing work, you can be like, I also, you can even say, I also wrote a more candid version of this, but was required to write this in this format and pleading, as after I had written my note, I read the rules in the documentation for a notice.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So here's my original note, because I hope to add a little humor to this whole thing, but obviously, I guess my creative writing is not necessary.
Okay, yeah, we can do that. Totally. Okay, alright.
And then we show her both of them, have her sign them both. She'll be like, I'm saying all that? That joke about the house that looks like a phallic? I'm gonna get you.
Okay, you wanted to see something?
Just type PSRK. PSRK.
No, shit, sorry.
PRSK. Property at PRSK. Okay. PSRK. Yeah, there. There's a couple, like two. Down.
I know, I'm trying. Well, it's loading.
Yeah,
Oh, there it is.
You have, like, seriously mouse-itis.
It's just this. It goes everywhere.
Click on one of the PSRKs.
Okay.
Hit spacebar. Oh, you have to hit all. Actually, sorry. So you know what I'm going to send you to do?
No.
Send you to court, file papers, send to Walgreens, pick up photos.
Okay.
You know, I was serious when I asked her. I was trying to say, like, wasn't our quiet title supposed to be fun? You know? It's supposed to be enjoyable. People even call it, like, the court that's, like, it's like the one type of court that's not horrible. That was miserable.
Those assholes. It's like they're trying to take out, yeah.
But to use their opinion in the way they transmit their information, it's like you're using criminal threats against people the way you're stating these things. And to be a squatter is a definition of an accurate adverse possessor. First of all, I take resentment to people using the word squatter in a negative context. Secondly, I take resentment to a person using adverse possession as a negative sentiment. These are things that are doctrines that govern the basis of America. And I have performed a service to my community where your client has committed a defrauding of my community. So everything I've been saying is like well, it's always on the ring for the most part, but it's all true and should be in our summary statement. Is that the lawyer's attitude was, however the judge might like feel that, you know, boys don't talk over each other. The thing is I wasn't really, and I am admitting that I am not necessarily a judge's best communicating friend because of the way I'm a communicator on earth. I'm a key ingredient in communicating to other types of people who want to hear things in the way that I communicate. That's one of my jobs, is transmission of information, signs and signifiers. But you don't want to hear anything other than what you're supposed to, because that's your job, is to delegate information flow for a judicial practice. But your lawyer buddy here, he has an ethical oath to understand the difference between me, who would be someone like his client, and himself and his practice. And therefore, he is not supposed to use these tools to arm himself with things that undermine people's livelihood. That would be a violation of his oath.
Yeah, absolutely.
To use his strength of procedure to hurt someone's personal well-being for the sake of his own, like, enjoyment and gain. That would be basically dehumanizing for no other reason than to basically undermine people's happiness for no reason. And the thing is if Lending Home cheated the substitution trustee with Quality Loan Service against American First Title and sold it to Lanceman Investment, and Lanceman Investment decided to take that fraud because Jenny Shapiro engaged in it, that is a fraud that is implicitly not my fraud. And I was here for years before that, and they're not entitled to any sort of thing, and you shouldn't treat people badly because of it.
Yeah.
And you should understand that Lending Home organizes a fraud, so your idea of what you're stating is engaging in me as though I have a threat to the community or a person of harm, because I am literally doing a service to create a better world, while you are egging on people who are willingly involved in financial crimes, and you're putting me down for no reason other than your own personal gain and unjust enrichment. I think that's the sad part here, is that America's championing the idea of landlord in such a way that it's a sick and twisted, malign thing. And I made these notes on the computer over there still, and on the phone. Where's the phone?
Yeah.
You have the phone?
You gotta find it.
You have the phone?
It's on the side.
Where was it?
Down. The phone? Oh, I don't. Where was it? Right there. Okay, it's recording, I think, still.
Huh?
It's still recording, I think.
That guy was such a jackass. He was a lot younger than I thought he was going to be.
No,
You're trespassing, actually. You know what they're doing down below? They've started equity skimming by renting our bottom property illegally that they've taken hostage in a forcible detainer, which we have a forcible detainer action that's been filed today because of what they did, because of what we got our rejection notices and our specific
We
writ.
brought this before the presiding judge and the clerk of the court for their.
We spent all day. That's why I'm
that's why we're super
I'm
exhausted.
burned out, man.
Because these guys. Where does it say that you're supposed to meet on the 11th?
I can.
Yeah,
Can you bring it up on
yeah,
the
yeah,
tablet?
totally.
It'll take about 5
filed an unlawful detainer, and it was incorrect, and it was the clerk
We're not
and it was completely false.
Do you want to get your stuff or not?
Yes, where's the plaintiff? I thought the plaintiff had to be here in order to do this. Where's Longflat? I mean, where's I thought the Longflat had to be with you in order. That is not true. I know for a
All right, well, then
fact.
go to the courthouse and work it out.
Now we're going to just get the basics.
Who is that person?
So once again,
He's the maintenance.
Yeah, we're looking.
He's an agent. He's an
What?
agent.
Okay, we're not going to put it there.
Sorry, I'm
So
sorry.
what are you going to get from inside? What do you need?
I need my shoes.
Where are they at? I'll get them for you.
Why can't I get my?
Because I'm getting them for you.
I don't know where they're at. My cat's in there too.
Okay, it's a mess right now. I'm not going to get hurt. I'm going to point it really hurt.
Can I grab my court papers?
You're gonna have a chance.
I am Longflat though.
Hold on.
You're gonna have a.
She saying who's Longflat? And you
I did because I wanted to know how this is
don't know his
possible.
name?
I know who Longflat is. Longflat is a company.
Let me know when you guys are done, alright? Let me know when you guys are done.
I'm confused.
I thought
Let me know when you guys are done.
Don't tell me what you think. Tell me what you know.
I know that the plaintiff is required to be there upon the
plaintiff is here.
Where is he?
Upstairs, up there. Is that it? That's your one question? The plaintiff is up there. He's up the hill.
We're also Longflat. They took our name, our business name.
That doesn't matter. No bearing on the.
What about with my cat?
Hey, where'd you go?
Why did you leave it?
I believe you. I believe there's a cat in there.
No, about everything else.
It doesn't matter.
What do you mean?
It doesn't matter.
How?
Because I have a minute order that
This
states
is
that.
against my 14th right, the 14th Amendment of the
I don't think you know the
Constitution.
14th
Oh, yes, I do.
What is it?
Excuse me, I'm like,
Okay.
You want to throw these out?